Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about Mercury and all 12 signs. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, I just want to give a quick disclaimer that I am using Vedic Sidereal astrology. So if you're coming from Western tropical, this may not work for you. Make sure that you have the correct information. There's a calculator down below in the description so that you have your sidereal placements. Now, what does Mercury represent? Mercury is the planet of communication, of writing, of information, of language. It is all about our ability to use our communication skills along with any other skills that we have in a practical sense. Mercury is all about business, negotiation, diplomacy. It is our ability to trade and do business. Therefore, Mercury also gives us the ability to gain wealth. Mercury is a very childlike planet, so it tends to adapt to any planets it's in a conjunction with. So you also want to check to see, is Mercury conjunct with any other planets? This becomes very important. Any aspects or conjunctions to Mercury can change the results in this video. Mercury also shows our connections to friends and siblings as well. It is all about those close bonds and connections. So, how do we interpret Mercury in the chart? Well, many of you know where Mercury is placed in your natal chart in the D1 Rashi chart. So, that is very important to see. You can also see Mercury from the position of the moon sign as well. But most importantly, you want to always look at where has Mercury gone in the D9 Navamsa chart and the D60 Shasti Amsa chart. This is going to verify the strength of Mercury in the chart. So the D9 especially shows the fruits of the karmas, how it matures in our lives. So you definitely want to see where is Mercury placed in both your D1 and your D9 chart, and D60 will give the final result. So what happens then when Mercury enters into the sign of Aries? Well, this is definitely going to give you a quick intelligence. You're able to communicate and think quickly. And this can be very beneficial in situations of danger or crisis as well. You can think very quickly on your feet in an emergency situation and can be a great help to other people. Because your communication is very direct and straightforward, this could also make you a great leader where you're able to actually command and use your speech to inspire others. Aries, because it is all about starting something new. This also can make you a pioneer, a trendsetter. You're able to think outside of the box and come up with brand new ideas and concepts. So, this can be very excellent in terms of business. Sometimes with this position, though, this could make you very argumentative, and especially if there are heavy afflictions from malefic planets in the chart, you can get into all sorts of conflicts and difficulties. This definitely, though, makes you ambitious when it comes to business. You are a go-getter. You take charge and initiate. Again, you become a pioneer, a leader in this placement. Sometimes with this position, though, you could struggle with business partnerships because Aries is a very individual sign. It's all about the self. And so with this placement, you would do best on your own with Mercury in Aries. This could also hurt education for some people, especially if there are heavy afflictions in the chart, because Aries is a very impulsive sign. So you could become very impatient with your studies. And this can be due to the fact that you're a very quick learner. You pick up information very quickly with this position. So sometimes you could get easily bored with your studies and just move on to different areas in your life. So sometimes there's a need for more discipline in terms of education. So when Mercury is in the sign of Taurus, this is an excellent position because Taurus is ruled over by Venus, and Venus and Mercury are great friends to one another. So Mercury in Taurus, first of all, is going to give you a very attractive speaking voice because Venus is all about beauty and aesthetics. So definitely Mercury in Taurus gives you a very friendly and pleasing way of communicating with others. It could even make you very charming and seductive in the way that you speak as well. And sometimes, because this makes the voice very beautiful, this could even make you skilled in singing and musical talent as well. In terms of friendship, Taurus is a sign that doesn't like a lot of change. So this can make you very loyal in terms of your friendships. You like to hold on to those lasting connections. And so you could have many loyal and long lasting connections in your life that can be very beneficial. Mercury and Taurus usually does well with academics, but Mercury and Taurus can give you a slower way of learning and gathering information. So you need to go at your own pace with this placement. So it could make you a little bit frustrated if other people push you to try to go quickly with your studies. You need that ability to really take your time to digest all of the information. But because Taurus is a sign that sticks to things, you tend to have a strong memory. You hold on to all of the information once you have learned it. And you're a very practical person. You're able to organize your life, to manage money, to manage all of the practical concerns in a very structured way. So this can be excellent, especially in terms of accumulating money over the course of your lifetime. You have this ability to slowly build up your gains and resources. This can also give you good decision-making ability as well. However, again, Taurus is very slow moving. So initially, when you are posed a question, you may have issues with actually coming up with quick answers to those questions. But once you have taken the time to gather all of the information, you always make the right decision. Sometimes this could also make you kind of stubborn as well in your way of thinking. You could just hold on to one perspective of seeing something and not be able to think outside the box or see from different perspectives. So sometimes you want to be careful of being too stubborn in your way of thinking because you can miss out on other opportunities with this placement. This can also make you skilled with cooking, especially if this is coming under Critica. You could do very well in terms of cooking, dealing with food with this placement. This could also make you skilled in hotel, restaurant, anything that has to do with making other people comfortable. You're very skilled in this area. And because your way of communicating is so charming and likable by others, you can also have many friends, many connections in your life, even from foreign lands. If Mercury has gone into Gemini, this is a very auspicious placement because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So it feels very much at home in the sign of Gemini. So this is going to give you a very balanced way of communicating. You have a calm voice with this placement, and you know how to communicate at the right time. Everything is done in this balanced way. This definitely makes you very intelligent as well. You have great logical skills, great ability to really deal with information and knowledge, and this could make you very successful in academics. This definitely can make you think quickly on your feet. And again, you have a strong ability to communicate that is very calm, that is very likable by others. So you have this natural charisma about you. Other people are attracted to your way of speaking. This can make you very skilled in terms of education, teaching, dealing with language, dealing with numbers. You become a very analytical and intellectual person with this placement for sure. And because of your way of communicating, you can also be thrust into leadership positions. Your communication can become very inspiring to other people. Definitely, this is a placement, though, where you could become bored easily. You always want something that is mentally stimulating, that allows you to use your brain in all situations. So, this can make you very much interested in gathering information and working out problems and always being able to find some practical means of using your intelligence. Because Gemini is a changeable sign, sometimes if there are heavy afflictions in the chart, this could create some issues with friendships where there can be a lot of changeability within your friend circle. But usually this tends to give a good connection with friends, with siblings, with this placement. This definitely makes you a very social person because Gemini is all about connecting with other people. So, definitely with Mercury and Gemini, you could be connected to all sorts of people from different walks of life. You can definitely be very much into your network circle and always wanting to keep connected with other people. This also can make you very skilled in terms of money management as well. So, overall, this is a very positive position to have. If Mercury is in Cancer, then this is a very interesting position because Cancer is a very emotional sign. So, this means that there is something very emotional about your way of communicating and thinking as well. So, you tend to have a very charismatic voice. You're able to actually inject emotion and feeling into your speech, which other people instantly want to listen to. So, definitely, you have a very attractive way of communicating. This also can mean, though, that there could be issues in regards to education, that you really need something that your whole heart and soul is in. You have to feel it, you have to feel connected to the subject that you pursue. So, sometimes there can be issues in regards to education if you're not able to find something that you really feel emotionally connected to. That becomes extremely important. This also can make you skilled in areas of business that have to do with helping, nurturing, counseling, guiding other people. You could be a coach, a counselor of some kind, where you really want to nurture and take care of others to help to deal with the problems of other people. So you're a very caring and empathetic person. At the same time, though, if there are afflictions to this, then this could actually make you closed off with your emotions. So you want to see, how is this placed in the chart? Because Cancer is the sign of the mother, this can also make you interested in working with younger people, especially in areas of teaching and education. And definitely, you love to travel and comfort because, again, Cancer is that original sign of the mother of the home environment. So, this can give you a great love of travel, but you want to do it in comfort. And this can also bring you back to your home at some point. So you always return back to home. You don't just move out into other areas. You have this strong attachment to your homeland, to your country of origin, to your family with this placement. Sometimes there can be issues related to money because Cancer is a very emotional sign. It is more people oriented. So sometimes you may need a financial advisor, or you may need to have a partner, especially if you're doing business, to help you in this area. If Mercury is in Leo, then this is going to give you a very dynamic speaking ability. You could be a performer, a presenter, an actor, a politician with this placement. You have a very strong and powerful way of speaking that can influence other people. This also can make you very knowledgeable, very intelligent. Leo is definitely concerned with academics, so you want to learn, you want to gather information, but sometimes you want to be careful because the negative side of Leo is ego. So sometimes you could become too egotistical about the knowledge that you have. And this could get you into all sorts of arguments and conflicts with other people. And definitely, this could hurt your friendships if this is afflicted in the chart by other planets as well. Because Leo is a fixed sign, similar to Taurus, though, you're very loyal when it comes to friendship, and you can also attract very loyal friends as well. Definitely, again, this can show working in politics, working in the government, working in authoritative positions can be seen with this placement as well. Sometimes you could also do work that involves travel, even in fields that have to do with government and authority. It could take you traveling also. This could make you a very skilled business person, especially if you were in a leadership position. But sometimes, because business is something that can involve change and fluctuation, and you're a fixed sign, this could cause some anger and frustration sometimes dealing with these areas. So, this could be a difficulty sometimes dealing with the business sphere. This also can be a position where you like to gamble, to get into speculation, to get into all sorts of investments. Leo is a very speculative sign. So you want to be careful, especially if there are heavy afflictions in the chart, because this can actually result in losses of wealth with this placement. If Mercury is in Virgo, this is an excellent position of Mercury. Mercury is not only exalted here, but is in its office sign where it is most powerful. So this is a very prominent placement. This definitely is going to give you the best of the qualities of Mercury. So this is going to make you a very practical, intelligent person. You can do very well in your academics, in your studies. And usually with this placement, you also want to apply this to the real world. So again, you're a very practical person. You want to take your skills and knowledge and apply it to something. This can actually make you a very restless person where you feel that you always have to be using your skills. You always have to be doing something with your life. You don't really want to sit still. But this gives you great intelligence because your thoughts don't tend to wander too much. You're very organized in your way of thinking. So this can make you excel in almost anything that you do in life. This can make you very skilled with research, with science, with dealing with money, accounting with this placement. You can be a very technical person. You can be skilled in writing and communication fields, such as journalism and media with this placement as well. Almost anything with this placement, because of your ability to think critically and to be organized in areas of business, you do very well. Your way of communication also tends to be very practical and precise. So you're very exact about the way that you speak. And this definitely makes you very understood by other people as well. This definitely shows that you can get a lot done in your job. You can take on so many different tasks and just plow through it in an organized and structured way. So this is excellent. You could even do well in the arts with this placement. You can make an excellent craftsman, and you could do well in computer work as well. And definitely because Virgo is that original sixth house of the chart, you have a great interest in health and healing. You could even go into a healing profession where you are helping those in need as well. Virgo here also makes you diplomatic. So you have excellent skills in negotiation and mediating in the legal field with this placement. Again, almost anything you can become very successful with. This definitely shows that you have great money making skills as well. You have a careful and calculated way of growing your wealth that definitely can be beneficial for you. You know how to manage money, you know all the right places to invest, and how to really build that wealth in a stable and secure way. This can also make you a traveler. And you want to travel with purpose, though. You want it to be a practical experience where you can actually learn something, take something meaningful out of your travels. And this can make you very detail oriented, not only in your work life, but even in your everyday life as well. You could be very nitpicky around the home environment, taking careful care to every little detail with this placement. And sometimes you could actually have issues in your friendships and connections because you could be a little critical of other people. You're very detail oriented and perfectionistic in everything you do. Everything is very proper and well taken care of. So sometimes when other people are not able to organize their lives the way that you can, there can be some issues. And especially if there are heavy afflictions, this can cause some great issues that can actually cause splits in your friendship. So you want to be careful of this sometimes. Another thing is that if there are heavy afflictions, sometimes this can make you too obsessive about your work life, where you can burn yourself out, you can stress yourself out, cause yourself a lot of anxiety and hardship. So sometimes there's a need to learn how to pace yourself more in this area. If Mercury is in Libra, then definitely you want to connect with other people. Libra is all about other people. So you could have a very vibrant social life with Mercury in Libra. You love to connect with your friends, to keep up with your friends. You love to go to social events and to really be connected in this way. Also, you can have a very diplomatic way of expressing yourself. You communicate in a way that is well received by others. You can have a very balanced and charming way of speaking that people generally enjoy. So, this can make you very attractive and this can make you very skilled in the business world as well. You know how to negotiate, you know how to do business with this placement. This could definitely make you skilled in the arts because Libra is ruled by Venus. So anything in fashion, media, design, film industry, acting, you could do very well in these areas also. Libra also deals with the legal field, so this could be another area where you could excel at with Mercury and Libra. Usually, Mercury in Libra is not as great for education because, again, you're a more social person. So sometimes there can be issues related to education for this reason. But you could do very well with groups and coming together in team situations in your academics, and this could help you be very successful in this area. You're definitely a very creative and enterprising person, again, very skillful in the business world, so you can become very successful. You can gain a great deal of wealth with this placement for sure. Sometimes Mercury in Libra, though, could make you a little bit indecisive in your decision making ability, especially in certain nakshatras falling under Libra. So, in that case, sometimes there's a need to have a business partner or someone who you can bounce ideas off of. If Mercury is in Scorpio, this is a very interesting position of Mercury. Definitely, it's going to make you intelligent because you are a researcher. Scorpio is about uncovering the things that are hidden in the dark. So you are very curious to learn. You want to uncover all of the information. This could even attract you towards astrology, occult knowledge, mysticism with this position, or more on a mundane level into science fields, research, detective work. You really want to get to the bottom of the true meaning of everything with this placement. This sometimes could make your communication style, though, a little bit harsh towards other people because, again, you're always trying to get to the truth. So sometimes you can just blurt out the truth in a way that is not well received by others. You can hurt other people's feelings by being too harsh and critical in your speech. So sometimes this is something that you want to tone down a little bit because, especially if there are afflictions with this Mercury, it can cause some splits and obstacles in your friendships. And in general, because Scorpio is a karmic sign, it is co ruled by Ketu, there can be splits and sudden situations that happen in your friend circles with this placement. Sometimes this position could also make you a little bit obsessive about your friends, where you don't really want to lose those connections. You become extremely attached and emotionally connected with your friends. And sometimes this can create issues with jealousy, with possessiveness around friendships that you want to watch out for also. Mercury and Scorpio could also make you very secretive, where you may not share a lot with other people or may not easily trust others with this placement. And because Scorpio is ruled by Mars, you could even get into emergency work, police work, medical field with this placement. But usually it's more along the lines of getting into detective work, into government agent positions, dealing with secretive information, and really wanting to get to the bottom of the true meaning of everything. This definitely is better for an independent role in business, though, because again, there is a tendency to not easily trust others, which can cause some issues when dealing with business partners. Scorpio is the original eighth house of investments and inheritance. So definitely you can do well with money with this placement. You can definitely grow money because this is a fixed sign. So you steadily grow money with time and experience, and you know the right places to invest money with this position. Although if this is afflicted, you want to be careful sometimes of taking too many risks and investments because it can result in losses. If Mercury is in Sagittarius, very intelligent position, but you're not so much interested in the practical side of life. You're more interested in the higher knowledge, in philosophy, in religion, spirituality, metaphysics. You want to get to the higher truth, the higher meaning. So this makes you a very philosophical person. You're always seeing the bigger picture in life. And definitely this can help you in your academics. You can be very successful. Sometimes, though, because you're not so interested in the smaller details, you could have some impatience in your studies, which could cause some issues. So, especially if this is afflicted, sometimes you can have some challenges in this area. Definitely, you want to calm this down a little bit, but this is mainly because you learn very quickly. You absorb information very fast, and you love to learn to gather information. Not only do you like to learn, though, but because Sagittarius is the original ninth house, you want to teach. You want to put this knowledge out to other people. So you can make an excellent teacher with this placement. You could be a preacher, you could be a religious leader, you could be someone who is into publishing and lecturing and putting this information out to other people. So this could even make you an excellent writer as well. And definitely because Sagittarius is all about travel, you have a great love of traveling to various places. This makes you a very restless person. You could have a great love of traveling to foreign locations and could even end up settling in a foreign place as well. Sagittarius is also a very optimistic sign. So, especially because Mercury rules humor, this could make you a very humorous person. You have a great sense of humor and you love to play around. You love to make jokes and to make people laugh and to be in social situations. So, this can be excellent as well. Sometimes you could get some issues, though, in terms of finances because again, you're always looking at the bigger picture, which means that you can miss some fine details when dealing with finances. So, this is definitely something you want to watch out for. Or you may need a financial advisor. You want to check to see what is the condition of Mercury in the chart. This could also make you very restless in terms of business. You can jump from one business to the next, always trying to look for the next best thing. So sometimes this also needs to be toned down a little bit. But if this is positively placed in the chart, then you also can find so many great opportunities from these experiences. But generally, in the business field, there is a need for a partnership so that you have someone who supports you in this area. If Mercury is placed in Capricorn, then this can make you very careful and measured with all of your speech. You want to communicate in a certain way, in a way that is polite, a way that is well received, because Capricorn is about status. So you are very much concerned with your status and reputation in terms of how you speak and communicate with other people. This definitely can make you very much careful in the way that you work, the way that you do business as well. Again, status becomes very important with Mercury in Capricorn. This can also make you very correct and proper in the way that you write as well. So, again, very careful, very calculated with this placement. Because Saturn has rulership over Capricorn, this could also give you an interest in history and science and wanting to understand the whole history and meaning behind everything. So sometimes this could give an interest in things that are older or historical with this placement as well. And similar to Mercury in Scorpio, there can be a difficulty with easily trusting other people. So this may make you a little bit more closed off sometimes with this placement. It definitely makes you very organized and systematic, though. Capricorn loves to have structure. So you work in this way that is very structured, that is very thorough. You take your time with everything and you make sure that it is done in the correct way. So this could also make you a workaholic. You become very focused towards your work life for sure. Sometimes if there are heavy afflictions in the chart, though, this could create issues where you could actually burn yourself out. You can create a lot of stress and anxiety from putting so much of this energy into your work life. So this is something that you want to watch out for. Another thing about this placement is that sometimes you can have issues in terms of traveling because Saturn represents all sorts of obstacles and delays. So sometimes these are things that can come up on your travels, and this can frustrate you with this placement for sure. And definitely, you want the best in terms of travel because, again, Capricorn is about status. So this may make you more interested in wanting to travel first class or wanting to travel in style with this placement. You can do very well with investments, with dealing with money. But sometimes with this placement, you could become a little bit frugal or cautious about your money. There's this constant worrying that can come in. And this could be difficult where this can actually cause you a great deal of stress and frustration. So sometimes there's a need to be a little bit more laid back in this area, especially because many of you are hardworking. You will earn this wealth. So sometimes you worry a little bit too much in this area. Definitely, Capricorn is a sign that can become a little bit pessimistic at times. So this can actually turn your thought process into negatives where sometimes you are getting too much into this and sometimes you can see things that are negative that are not necessarily true. So there's definitely a need to not fall into this way of negative thinking all of the time. And sometimes this can show that your friends actually can help you in this area. Your friends can lift your spirits, can help you to come out of this negative place. So definitely friends can be very beneficial. And because Capricorn is about the things that last over time, it can show very long lasting friendships that you can have with this placement, especially if Mercury is not afflicted. Huge loyalty can be seen through friendship. If Mercury is in Aquarius, this is a very interesting position, one of the most difficult positions to interpret because Aquarius has a dichotomy to it because it is co-ruled by Rahu and Saturn. So Saturn and Rahu are very different from one another. And this can give a huge duality to this placement. It can show that sometimes your way of thinking can be very traditional, very organized, similar to Capricorn. And at other times, your way of thinking can be very unusual, eccentric, out of the box. So you can swing between these two extremes. And again, similar to Capricorn, this is ruled by Saturn, which can give you an interest in historical facts and things of the past with this placement. But this can show that you're very scientific in your way of thinking. You want to explore things. You really want to get into research with this placement, and you could do very well in areas of research and science. This could also be a position where you could get into psychology, where you could get into the medical professions, into teaching. You really want to get into knowledge with this placement, and you are always exploring different theories, different ideas. Again, you're very intelligent with this placement for sure. This definitely makes you a go getter as well. You are determined to achieve your goals with this placement, but sometimes you can be too idealistic about your goals, which can actually cause some delays in your progress. So sometimes some late success can be seen with this placement, but definitely this makes you a very successful person. Your way of communication also can be very eccentric as well. You could have a very charismatic way of speaking, but there's something unusual about your speech. And this can actually make you very attractive because people are drawn to this unusual and eccentric way of communicating. There's something about this that draws other people towards you. On the opposite extreme, this unusual communication style could actually be some kind of speech defect or issue along the lines of language and communication. So that can sometimes be seen, especially if there are heavy afflictions to Mercury in the chart. Definitely, this can show some issues in terms of friendships. Similar to Scorpio, this is a karmic sign because this is co ruled by Rahu. So sometimes there can be unexpected events in terms of dealing with friends. You could suddenly lose friends, or there can be sudden splits in your friendships that occur sometimes. But definitely with this placement, you want to learn, you want to explore, you want to travel, you want to experience different things. But again, there is this unusual dichotomy in this sign where sometimes you also just become more traditional and grounded in your approach. So you go back and forth between these two. If Mercury is in Pisces, again, very interesting position because this is the debilitation. This is where Mercury is not at its strongest. So this is interesting in the sense that this is going to give you a very unusual and different form of intelligence. And so this is not going to diminish the intelligence with Mercury and Pisces. It's just that you think differently from other people. This can make you very imaginative, creative, right brained in your way of thinking. And so there can be a lack of practicality sometimes with this placement. And this could sometimes hurt you in your studies, but with the right studies or the right systems in place to help you, you could become very successful in this area as well. Definitely, this can be successful in terms of business when you are doing anything that is creative, that is involved with the arts with this position, because you have huge imagination. Your imagination is endless. So you can come up with all sorts of possibilities of success in the creative fields for sure. Sometimes with this placement, if people are rushing you, trying to get an immediate answer out of you, this can be a struggle because your level of intelligence tends to come from more of an abstract, intuitive place. So you really need time to digest the information to come to a conclusion. So definitely, you would not do well in a fast paced environment. You do better when you have more space to yourself to work out all of the problems. This will be more helpful for you. You're always seeing the bigger picture, similar to Sagittarius. It's a Jupiter ruled sign. So you see things at a broader sense. So you're not so much concerned with the practical details, but you have huge inspiration and imagination, which can help you to be very successful in areas of business for sure. You may also travel for your job as well, because Pisces is the original 12th house of foreign lands. So there may be something involved with travel, with change, with movement in terms of your job situation. But sometimes this could also make you restless in your jobs, where you could just suddenly change directions with this placement. Another difficulty with Mercury and Pisces is dealing with finances, because Pisces is not really concerned with the material aspects of life. Pisces, again, is more of this dreamy, imaginative sign. So sometimes this could show that you may need a financial advisor, an accountant, someone to help you with managing your finances, but still you can become very successful in this area. Another difficulty that can be seen, though, sometimes with Mercury and Pisces, especially if there's heavy afflictions, is that you could struggle in terms of friendship, because Pisces is this very compassionate sign that just wants to love everyone. So the problem with this is that you could sometimes miss the faults or the intentions of other people. You could just want to openly love people and not realize their true motivations. And so sometimes you could attract the wrong crowd. So definitely there's a need to be careful with this for sure. But definitely Mercury and Pisces makes you a very compassionate person. You have a great love for people from all different walks of life, and you have a tendency to be very kind and compassionate towards others. So this tends to make you well liked with this placement. Again, you want to see, are there any afflictions? What other planets are involved with this? So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.